everybody knows your name. And I didn't know until recently that you, for 2 years, were battling depression. Every time, even when you walked out, you're smiling, she's regal, you've got the finger in the air smiling, but you've been hiding so much behind that smile.
Blessings, everyone. Welcome back to All Bits and Pieces. I'm your host, David Acosta, and I'm so happy to have you here again with us. Today, we're going to be talking about depression and, how we can use the power of God to overcome it. So no matter what you're struggling with, it's easy to feel like you're the only one. Maybe you know someone who struggles with depression. Maybe you are battling it yourself or have felt depressed for a season in the past. But have you ever stopped and thought, oh, maybe I'm not the only one who's going through this? It's widely helpful to know you're not alone, my friend, and to learn from those who have made it through similar things as you. The fact is, God knows more about depression, anxiety, despair, and sadness more than anyone else in this world. Any psychiatrist, counselor, pastor, or friend, and in His Word, God provides a framework we can use to approach the subject. We're going to be looking at an interview on the Tamron Hall show with David Mann and his wife, Tamela Mann. You know, you may know them from Meet the Browns, the famous Tyler Perry hit series, and other Tyler Perry movies and Broadway plays. You know they are pretty famous. They are not only actor and actress, but they are also a successful musical artist. And so David Mann shares in this interview his struggles with depression and how it almost ruined his life. But through the help of God, he was able to overcome. Let's take a look.
But let me tell you, today, it's a very powerful show for us, and we're learning today, while their fans were watching a couple on top of the world, behind the scenes, Tamela and David's relationship was recently challenged by a struggle David was silently hiding. And now, for the first time on national television, David and Tamela are here to talk about this deeply personal journey where they had to rely on faith first. Please welcome Tamela and David Mann to the Tam Show. Have a seat. You were babies when you met in high school.
We enjoying each other so much, we don't realize 30. We sitting talking the other day and it was like,
it doesn't seem that
we've been together most of our lives. Now that picture right there. Let's go, they done embarrassed us.
Who are those babies?
We don't know.
But look how far we come.
Listen,
thank God for work.
I told her.
And David did my hair right there. That was called a freeze.
Oh, yeah, remember the freeze?
Don't tell nobody
He
that.
was doing women's hair then.
And I got the part and everything.
I know.
That's when you had hair, baby.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this picture and I'm thinking, wow, what were their dreams?
I think it was just to love each other and take care of each other at the time.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know, and we were singing together even early then, but it was like to have a family, because both of us grew up in a one-parent home, not a two-parent home. So we were trying to do things differently that didn't happen really with us. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the goals.
I guess if I can sum it up in one word, just looking at that and thinking back, survival.
Survival.
Yeah.
And then you get this life that you couldn't have ever imagined. You are superstars. You're not only entertainers, you are stars of TV shows. Everybody knows your name. And I didn't know until recently that you, for 2 years, were battling depression. Every time, even when you walked out, you're smiling, she's regal, you've got the finger in the air smiling, but you've been hiding so much behind that smile.
They would ask me, are you okay? Good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm a fixer. Let me fix it. I'll fix everything. Everything is good. Everything is fine. As long as everybody else is good, I'll figure it out on my own later. That was literally killing me.
When did you know something wasn't right, if that's the way to put it?
I don't know. I just know one day I realized I don't feel right. And something is off. And the only way that I could find relief was I would go in my office and just go to sleep. And that's the only time I just could feel good.
You've not talked about this
I
publicly.
have not talked about it. This is the first time.
Why is it now the time? Why is it now?
Because of the stigma that we have on it as black men. As a community. And quite honestly, I was embarrassed.
You were embarrassed?
I was embarrassed. I was ashamed because, you know, I'm David Mann. I make the world laugh. But once I started to see how much I could help people with my story of depression, because that is something that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
What did it feel like in those dark days?
Like that, you know, and I want to say...
if I could say this real quick, he looked unhappy. So I kept asking the question.
So you saw it. You
it's
saw
like
the light.
I could see that something was there, but I wouldn't have put that on it. I would have never said that about him.
You would never thought it was depression?
No, never.
What did you think it was?
I was just, you know how you just have a moment like you get tired, fatigued, because when we go, and it's like so much. He's thinking of what's next. When we're all asleep, he up thinking about what we about to do.
So you thought maybe burnout?
Yes, like tired.
I said, it's like I was drowning, but nobody knew I was drowning. The only way people were gonna realize that I was, okay,
yes,
cool. Yeah. It's touchy for me because I haven't shared it with anybody. I said the only way people were going to realize that I was drowning is if I completely drowned. And I was like, wow. And I can't say anything to anybody because I got to make sure you're fixed. I got to make sure you're good. I got to make sure everybody's good. And it just hit me. And I was like, I need to see a therapist. But then I know the stigma for our neighborhood, you know, you don't need to go to no therapist. You ain't going up there and telling nobody your business.
Well, especially when you are someone who leads with your faith, people say, well, pray about it.
Yes.
And I did.
That was,
but that's
and
not
I prayed and I prayed, and when I got up, I still felt miserable.
Yeah.
So, and like I describe it, I say if I was having a heart attack, they would have taken me to a heart doctor.
Yeah.
If I had liver problems, they would have taken, I say, so now I'm having some mental health issues. I need to seek professional help.
Yeah. That's a beautiful point because people will tell you if you have a heart condition, go to see a doctor. You can pray and go see someone who has an expertise in this.
Yeah, because the house of prayers help. The house of prayers help, meaning like your church, your pastor, you know, or people that you talk to. But there's nothing wrong. We realize there's nothing wrong with going and talk to somebody. I told him, I said, first of all, I was devastated. My heart was just in crumbles because I was like, what? I mean, what is happening that you're not telling me? So I felt really just like helpless because I was like, so it's like night after this, y'all. It's like I was constantly, you okay? I said, don't give me the generic answer, good. I said, because a lot of us, and he was like, I know how to put the face on. I was like, don't give me the mask. Tell me seriously, where are you? Where are you and how can I help you? I was determined to not allow the enemy to destroy my husband, my relationship, and what he has. What he has, because I know what he comes with and what he's called to do and how he's called to help, not just us, but he's called to help the nation. The thing is it's more brothers that I know that are hurting and struggling and not talking about it. And to hear somebody of his stature and of his caliber just say that there's a problem and it's okay, let's talk about the problem and we can get the problem fixed. Because a lot of times we think there's no fix, but there is help.
Yeah.
And we're called to be helpers. We're called to be helpers to one another.
When he told you finally, I've made the appointment, I'm going to see a therapist.
I was like, get out of here.
They pushed me out the door. Go.
Like, get out of here. Because I think I haven't went yet. It's like I start talking to some other friend of mine who kind of walked me through some things and just really, to just see myself. Sometimes we have to look in the mirror to see yourself.
Yeah. Once I got there, it was a bit of apprehension because it's just like, how do I, sit? What made me comfortable, the therapist said the first thing is, yeah, okay, welcome. Let's have a word of prayer. Now, what's the problem? That right there said, okay, I can have a therapist and, we can faith too.
Yeah.
And so I remember that first day in therapy, I think I must have cried my whole hour. I think I paid him an hour to cry. I just sit there and I pour it out, and I think that's what some of us are missing. Some of us are missing that relief.
How do you feel now?
I'm in the best place that I've been in my life.
And I'm the other therapist.
Yeah. I'm in the best place because what I learned was I gotta take some time for me.
And so you're in this good spot, and you're back. The family is on like the new tour is like the Partridge Family.
Yeah.
It is up to date. Overcome a Man Family Tour. Yes, we're out and we hitting the cities, and it's really been a blessing.
Welcome back this hour. We're talking about faith and the incredible journey it can take us on. I'm back with gospel superstar Tamela Mann and her award-winning husband, actor and comedian David Mann. You know, we've been talking about David's battle with depression, but more important, your ability to use your faith and the help of therapy to now no longer hide this, and you're
Right.
talking about it openly.
Right. You tell a bunch of guys you're gonna go to a therapy session, I'm not coming.
Right.
But I do it right in the middle of a stand-up set. I talk to them about my struggle with depression. And I literally, as I look in the audience, I can see a lot of, wow, me too. Me too. That's why I'm willing to share it publicly now and just like, I can help the world with this stuff.
I love it. I love it. And you know, they say you have to meet people where they are, and you're meeting them with humor and with heart. Now you're on the tour. Can I see this picture of this gorgeous family again? Come. Okay, let's go in order.
David Jr. David Jr.
David Jr. is how old now?
David Jr. is
34.
34.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
34.
34, that's right. Sure.
You don't know how old your kids are?
No, he won't be 34 until this November.
Oh, yeah.
So 34 soon.
34, 35. Me, that's Daddy. This Tia's the baby, she's 32, and Portia is 36.
Gosh. I love it. And you
and
remember all the ages and names. That's very good. That's
Not
a
me.
good sign.
Now, my family also was.
And we have Sonia, my niece that we
Yes.
We
raised.
adopted.
Sorry, we
She's
adopted.
48.
And grandchildren.
And 8 grandkids.
A whole bunch of them.
8 grandchildren. You are in such demand, Tamela, the color purple. Oprah Winfrey requested that you be in this new version of the color purple.
Amazing. Oh my God. What David told me, he got the call. He was like, Tam, they want you to be a part of it. And Oprah is fighting for you to play this role, which is First Lady. And I was like, you kidding me?
Yes.
But it was so amazing. And then when I filmed it, y'all, she came out to see me film
came.
my parts. And she stayed, the whole time. And it was like amazing to just have somebody I ain't gonna cry, just in your corner.
Yeah.
It's just a blessing to have somebody in your corner.
It is. And I'll tell you, and that's the thing, and I will say it, and as we say with our faith, I'll tell you, I was in a broken moment the first season of this show, and I called her. And it was like the angel, hello? I was like, she answered.
Swept
and
down.
It's like she is a guardian angel of so many people.
She is so graceful with us. I asked her on set, do you ever get tired of this? She said, no.
No.
She
That's
said,
amazing.
no. She said, because, the people is what kind of keep me going. I was like, she never gets a break, but she was so graceful with her time.
But you know what? That's, I think, a part of her legacy is that you are graceful and gracious with your time, and that you're on this show revealing to people whose lives will be changed, hearing David Mann say, I was battling depression, but I got up with my faith and with therapy.
Yes.
That's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
That's what we're
I'm an overcomer.
There you have it, family. David Mann opens up on his struggles with depression. Oh, it almost cost him everything. But, he was able to receive help in time. You see, we are living in a practical world. And, we have to balance life. While we depend on God, we trust God to help us. It is not a condemnation on us to seek help from professionals. So while he was able to trust God to see him through, he still was able to, use the power of the professionals to, combine his spiritual beliefs with talking over the issues he was facing, with facing the circumstances that was causing his depression, and with the power of God, he was able to overcome. You too, my friend, who is struggling today, can overcome. You too, my friend, who is having a hard time, facing that thing that seems like you can't break through. You too can overcome. The Bible is not full of men and women who are immune or unaware of what it's like to experience sorrow and pain. When you look at the Elijah, the David, the Jeremiah, the Job, they all face depression. When you look at their writings, their astounding expression of being lost and searching for God when God goes silent in their life, and they feel like He's not there, even though God is always there. But depression is like a mirage that keeps you from seeing the truth, that causes you to feel like your problems, your obstacles, your burdens are way bigger than your God. Is a season that we all sometimes, at times, may face, but we want to be prepared to understand that in those moments is when we need to hang on to God and to our faith, trusting Him, going in fasting and prayer, and not hiding from these our struggles, not hiding from our depression, but facing it, talking about it, looking depression in the face and say, "You will not bring me down." God included and made sure that these true stories were included in the Bible. The stories of David, the stories of Elijah, the stories of Job, the stories of Jeremiah, partly so that you would know you're not alone. Depression can come for anyone. God doesn't want you to experience depression, but He also understands what you're walking through. He is merciful, gracious, and empathize with what you're going through. Even in depression, Jesus is your healer and hope in the darkness. Cry out to God in prayer when you're feeling depressed and focus on the truth in His word. He will work all things together for good. And one day, if you're a believer in Christ, He will wipe every tear from your eyes in heaven. Hold on to that hope and keep fighting depression with the help of God's Spirit, His people, and His word. My friend, your life has purpose. God bless you.
Hello, family. Thank you for watching All Bits and Pieces. This is your host, David Acosta, and I'm so happy to have you over here. Just want to remind you to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Comment on the video so that we can continue to bring you more awesome content. Okay?